Alabama football continues its SEC grind with a trip to Starkville, Miss, for a matchup versus Mississippi State on Saturday, November 11, 2017. Alabama is coming off a win against LSU last Saturday. The Crimson Tide, 9-0 overall, 6-0 SEC, jumped on LSU in the first half, taking a 14-0 lead and riding the fast start to a 24-10 victory. Alabama checked in as the number 1 team in the Amway Coaches Poll and the AP Top 25 poll and number 2 in the second college football playoff rankings of the season. Following the matchup at Mississippi State, 7-2, 3-2, Alabama hosts Mercer and plays at Auburn in the Iron Bowl to close out the season. Alabama-Mississippi State betting odds. Alabama is a 14-point favorite, according to MyBookie. The over-under is 51 points. Alabama-Mississippi State betting picks. Marq Burnett, Alabama 38, Mississippi State 10. Alabama is just a much better team than Mississippi State. As long as Alabama's offense or special teams don't turn the ball over, Alabama's defense should be fine even with all of the injuries. Look for the Crimson Tide to win convincingly. Chris Kirschner, Alabama 34, Mississippi State 14. Dan Mullen hasn't beaten Nick Saban once since he's been at Mississippi State, and I don't think that's changing on Saturday. Yes, Alabama is in a vulnerable position at linebacker with the number of injuries it has suffered. But if there's one position group where the Tide can afford numerous injuries at its linebacker because of the quality of depth the team has, however, this is where the Bulldogs can take advantage. Mississippi State's offense is primarily based on zone read options, and if Alabama's linebackers make the wrong reads, it could lead to lots of trouble on Saturday. I still think Alabama is just more talented than Mississippi State for the injuries to make a giant difference in this game. Christopher Walsh, Alabama 30, Mississippi State 17. Mississippi State is a better team than most believe, although like the Crimson Tide the Bulldogs have some injury issues. Will this be another sluggish Alabama team coming off the LSU game or high-flying Alabama that gets the ground game going and silences the cowbells? It'll probably be a combination of both. Mike Bambach, Alabama 33, Mississippi State 13. I predict the running game will have success against the nation's number 23 rushing defense, 124.1 yards per game, which also should help Alabama's injury-revamped defense. Remember, Auburn piled up 244 rushing yards against the Bulldogs. Even at its best, Mississippi State hasn't been able to solve Nick Saban's Alabama teams since the 17-12 victory in 2007. The Tide goes for their 10th in a row against the Bulldogs and should get it by containing dual-threat QB Nick Fitzgerald. Ryan Fowler, Alabama 37, Mississippi State 17. Injuries have been a big talking point this week in Tuscaloosa, and who steps up for the Tide on defense? Jeremy Pruitt has done an outstanding job of getting players ready to take on bigger roles all season. I think Alabama's defense answers the call with a solid performance. I also believe the Tide's offense gets back in rhythm against the Bulldogs. Matt Speakman, Alabama 31, Mississippi State 7. Alabama's depleted linebacker core will certainly be a factor against a Nick Fitzgerald-led rushing attack. Fitzgerald, like most Dan Mullen quarterbacks, is a big guy who doesn't shy away from contact. Still, the Bulldogs are too one-dimensional to move the ball against Alabama enough to win. Alabama will get its running game back on track and give its defense a much-needed rest. Alabama-Mississippi State betting preview. Conference dominance. Alabama has won 21 consecutive SEC regular season contests, not including SEC championship games, the second longest streak in school history. Alabama's last SEC loss came against Ole Miss on September 19, 2015. Series history. Alabama leads the all-time series, 81-17-3, 79-18-3 after vacations and forfeits. Alabama beat Mississippi State, 51-3, in Tuscaloosa last season. Strong on both sides, Mississippi State's rushing attack ranks fourth in the SEC with 233.2 yards a game. The Bulldogs' rush defense ranks fourth in the conference. On the road, Alabama has won 13 consecutive true road games, with its last loss coming at Ole Miss on October 4, 2014. It is the second longest winning streak in true road games to Oklahoma's 15 straight.